Lamine juga al Barça. Lamine Yamal.
Lamine Yamal's rise has been nothing short of sensational. How many players can claim they made their first team debut for Barcelona at just 15 years, 9 months, and 16 days old? Not many, because he's the youngest debutant for the club since 1922. But Yamal isn't just another prospect, he's a crucial piece of Barcelona's puzzle. He's the guy, the one whose name gets written on the team sheet first. That's the kind of presence this young prodigy commands. Think about it, he was born in 2007. For crying out loud, am I pushing into unknown territory here? Maybe, but when legends like Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi believe he has the potential to step into their shoes and claim the Ballon d'Or, you have to take notice. Of course, being a La Masia sensation comes with the unavoidable Messi comparisons that can make or break a career. Let's break it down. Both made their Barcelona debuts as teenagers. Both are left-footed wizards who dance past defenders like they're cones in a training drill, and both possess a rare vision on the pitch that sets them apart. But as exciting as the comparison is, it also carries an enormous weight. I mean, we're talking about arguably the greatest footballer of all time. That's why Yamal's mission isn't to become the next Messi, it's to become the first Lamine Yamal, and if his early career is any indication, he's already carving his path to greatness. That's why Barcelona took extra care in managing his development, ensuring that his talent was nurtured the right way. But Yamal's footballing journey didn't start under the bright lights of the Camp Nou. It began in a much tougher setting. His story traces back to the gritty, working-class neighborhood of Rocafonda. On weekends, kids would suit up for Rocafonda's juvenile A team, chasing their dreams on the local pitches. But Yamal, he never played there. Instead, he honed his skills on the rough concrete courts right next door, the place where kids who couldn't afford club fees gathered to play. The walls around the pitch are covered in graffiti with one number standing out, 304. That's the postcode 08304, a symbol of identity and pride for the young boys who grew up there. That's why when Yamal netted his first goals for Barcelona, he paid tribute with a gesture honoring 304. It was his way of giving back to the streets that shaped him. Even in those early days, it was clear to everyone, his friends, his coaches, that Yamal was different. His agility, ball control, and vision weren't just good, they were on another level compared to everyone else on the streets of Rocafonda. Scouts were always around, searching for the next big thing, but Yamal's journey didn't follow the usual script. He didn't grind his way through smaller academies. By the time he was just 7 years old, he had already caught the eyes of Barcelona's talent spotters. The story goes that one day, a Barcelona scout caught a glimpse of Yamal and was so blown away that he immediately rang up the club, insisting they offer him a trial. And just like that, this young boy's life changed forever. After just one trial in 2014, at the tender age of 7, Yamal officially stepped into the legendary La Masia. Now, this isn't just any youth academy. La Masia is football royalty. It's the breeding ground for icons like Lionel Messi, Xavi Hernandez, and Andres Iniesta, arguably the 3 biggest names in Barcelona's history. For a young Lamine Yamal, getting the chance to develop in this footballing fortress was nothing short of a dream come true. But let's be real, joining La Masia was only the start. Yamal had the talent, no doubt, but like every young baller, he needed the right conditions to refine that raw potential. And Barcelona made sure he had exactly that. Much like they did with Messi, the club went the extra mile to ensure he felt at home. When Yamal stayed with his father, who didn't own a car, it was often his youth coach, Jordi Font, who personally picked him up in the early hours of the morning, making sure he never missed a game. Even the Spanish Football Federation took notice, wasting no time in handing him an international call-up. And despite his age, Yamal has looked like he belongs at the highest level. During Euro 2024, he didn't just play, he arrived, making international headlines and introducing himself to the world as football's next big thing. But we'll get to all that in just a bit. First, let's talk about how Lamine Yamal completely owned 7-a-side football from ages 7 to 12. The numbers, unreal. 301 goals in 151 games for Yamal's rapid development didn't go unnoticed. Barcelona U19 coach Oscar Lopez saw something special and told first-team manager Xavi that the youngster deserved a shot at the senior squad. And Xavi, he didn't hesitate to agree. So in December 2022, Yamal officially began training with Barca's first team. Just 4 months later, history was written. At only 15 years, 9 months, and 16 days old, Lamine Yamal made his senior debut for FC Barcelona in a commanding 4-0 victory over Real Betis, stepping onto the Camp Nou pitch in the 83rd minute to replace Xavi. The moment was electric. The crowd, the lights, the history, none of it fazed him. Yamal played with the same swagger, confidence, and fearlessness that had defined him since his academy days. Despite being the youngest player on the field, he looked right at home, and he didn't just play, he thrived. Yamal even registered a shot on target, proving that his hunger for goals wasn't dictated by age. Then, just weeks later, in May 2023, he secured his first major trophy as Barcelona clinched the La Liga title. But while his teammates celebrated, Yamal was already onto his next challenge, representing Spain on international duty, a remarkable journey to say the least. Before he knew it, he was back at Barca, making his first start for the senior team on August 20th, 2023 in a 2-0 win over Cadiz. Just days later, in his next start, he stole the show, earning man of the match honors after setting up goals for Gavi and Robert Lewandowski in a thrilling 4-3 victory over Villarreal. His red-hot form throughout August saw him claim the inaugural Under-23 Player of the Month award. The milestones kept coming. Soon after, he made his Champions League debut in a 5-0 rout of Royal Antwerp. With performances like this at just 16 years old, it was clear Barcelona had to lock him down. So they did. Yamal's contract was extended until 2026 with a jaw-dropping €1 billion buyout clause. A massive statement from Barca, proving just how much faith they had in their golden boy. And to reward him even further for this incredible rise, Barcelona. And it wasn't just about the goals. His versatility was on full display. Striker, left winger, even fullback, whatever role he was given, he thrived. It became clear to his coaches that Yamal wasn't just a raw talent, he was a phenom, but La Masia isn't just about producing talent, it's about molding players in the Barcelona way. Yamal wasn't just learning how to play football, he was learning how to think football, feel football, and move in harmony with the team. Without this, there's no way to make it at Barca. Fortunately for Yamal, it all came naturally. However, 7-a-side is one thing, the jump to 11-a-side, that's a whole different beast. Many youngsters struggle with the transition, so much so that it ends their Barcelona dreams before they even get started. And well, that clearly happened to Yamal. I mean, his goal tally plummeted to just 56 goals in 98 games. Talk about washed. Okay, but seriously, despite his limited 11-a-side experience, Barca's youth coaches saw something special and took a gamble, fast-tracking him past Cadet B straight into Cadet A under Ivan Carrasco. A risk, no doubt. A success, absolutely. Yamal thrived as a false nine, seamlessly balancing playmaking and scoring. His performance in the Catalan Championship final, legendary. It was so good that many expected him to stay another season at Cadet A, but Barca had other ideas. Yamal's rise wasn't just rapid, it was record-breaking. Faster than even Lionel Messi, he was promoted through the ranks, reaching the U19 squad by the age of 15. And once again, he delivered. Under Oscar Lopez, Yamal dominated as a right winger, demanding the ball every game and turning the right flank into the heartbeat of the attack. At just 16, he wasn't just La Masia's crown jewel, he was one of the most electrifying young talents in world football. And this was only the beginning. Just 2 days after his Champions League debut, Yamal made his first UCL start against Porto. Then he checked off another major milestone, his first El Clasico appearance, coming on as a substitute in a tough 2-1 home defeat to Real Madrid. All of this built up to a massive achievement. Yamal was awarded the inaugural Golden Boy, the youngest trophy, a prestigious Golden Boy award. He became the youngest player to feature in the knockout phase of the Euros, surpassing Jude Bellingham's previous record. And of course, he wasn't just making up the numbers, he delivered another assist in Spain's commanding 4-1 victory. Then came the quarterfinals against Germany. Yamal stepped up yet again, registering another crucial assist in Spain's 2-1 win. That made it 3 assists in a single European championship, matching Spanish legends Cesc Fabregas, David Silva, and Dani Olmo. And then came the moment, the semi-final against France. Trailing 1-0, Yamal changed the game with an absolute rocket from outside the box. A goal so good it was later crowned goal of the tournament. And yeah, I know, I sound like a broken record at this point, but guess what? This made him the youngest goal scorer in European Championship history, just 4 days before his 17th birthday, smashing the previous record by over a year. And what better way to celebrate turning 17 than preparing to be crowned the youngest European champion champion ever. In the final against England, Yamal once again made history, assisting his close friend and fellow winger Nico Williams for Spain's opening goal. That made him the youngest player to register a goal involvement in a major tournament final, and with one more game to go, he was 2-1 triumph over England in the final. There was only one way to cap it all off, by being named the tournament's young player of the tournament, and just like that, Lamine Yamal became the youngest player to ever win the Euros. By now, it was crystal clear. Yamal wasn't just another flavor of the month, another hot prospect enjoying a brief purple patch. Football has seen its fair share of wonder kids who never quite lived up to the hype. Alan Halilovic, Ansu Fati, Jeremy Menez, Alexandra Pato, the list goes on. But Yamal, he's different. He's not just part of the next generation, he is the next generation. He represents modern football in its purest form, fast, technical, and fearless. So what's next for Lamine Yamal?